Welcome to ABC Interactive English. Hello, everyone. My name is Sydney.
And I'm Mike. Yes, welcome, guys. Thanks for spending some time with us. We are satisfying your thirst, or our thirst, or everyone's thirst at a bubble tea shop, a very popular place to go, really any time of the year in Taiwan. But I would bet that most bubble tea shops do more business in these hot summer months, like we're having right now, than maybe in the winter time. But you can get warm stuff, I think, at some of those shops. You can get icy stuff. You can put a lot of sugar. You can put a little sugar. And we're going to be talking about that. That is kind of a wonderful thing about bubble tea. If you're trying to be healthy, you can have a healthy version. If you want something a little sweet and a little, a little naughty, if you're having a reward, having a little sweet dessert in a cup, you can also do it that way. Do you have your own sort of favorite, what we would probably call in English here, your go-to order, the one you usually order when you don't want to think of something special? This is the typical thing you would get.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I feel like my go-to bubble tea order typically consists of me getting a smaller size, regular bubble tea, essentially hold the bubbles.
No bubbles, so it's all tea.
It's all tea, no bubbles, and I'll do maybe 50% ice and 30% sugar.
Wow.
I'm someone who kind of typically has a bit of a chronic sweet tooth, but I prefer to eat my sugar with cookies and cakes and brownies. So if I'm drinking bubble tea, I just want a little bit. 30% I think is good for me.
I see. So you can have your very light sugar, no bubble, pure tea, and have it with a nice piece of cheesecake.
Exactly.
Or something like that. That sounds like a pretty good order. I'm quite similar. I'll usually go for a larger one.
Okay.
Because I like to put more ice in it, and as the ice melts, you continue to drink. Lemon is good. Mine is more just to the edge, just to the cousin of lemon. I go for grapefruit.
Okay.
I'm a grapefruit green tea kind of guy.
Right.
And it's my go-to order. My wife will often just bring home a cup for me, even without me asking, because she drinks it a lot. And she knows that if she comes home with a grapefruit green tea with like half sugar, I'm going to be fine and happy with that. So what about you guys? You probably have your favorite order and your favorite way to make it just right for you. And we're going to be talking about all of that stuff and some of the choices and decisions and questions you have to think of as you satisfy your thirst at a bubble tea shop. Let's get to it. Coco and Truman are ordering drinks through an app.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but there's no lemon IU jelly drink.
Man, I wanted something kind of sweet and sour.
While you think of your second choice, I'll order my mango pomelo sago drink.
Okay, I changed my mind. Now I want a large brown sugar bubble milk tea with pudding and double bubbles.
All right, guys, so we are back and we are with our two tea-drinking friends, Coco and Truman. And it seems Coco and Truman want to have tea, but they also want to be lazy because it says Coco and Truman are ordering drinks through an app.
Yeah.
So they're not actually at the tea shop. I'm calling them lazy. Maybe they are. Or maybe they're just really smart because they've decided to stay home under the air conditioner, stay cool, but still get their drinks. And yes, many of these tea shops, even the ones right around your neighborhood, right near your house, they might still deliver. So if you are feeling super lazy, or maybe you're just busy, you can get it brought to your door, but you still have to order your tea, and that will still require making some decisions. So let's get to it and see what they decide to order.
All right, so Coco starts off by saying, sorry to burst your bubble, but there's no lemon IU jelly drink. All right, so sorry to burst your bubble. Now, here we don't actually mean like to not to pop someone's bubble, right?
Okay,
Truman's not blowing bubbles and then Coco just stabs it and bursts the bubble, right?
You can't even burst a bubble in the tea because it's too hard.
Exactly.
So what is this all about, bursting your bubble?
Yeah, so if someone says, oh, sorry to burst your bubble, what they mean is, hey, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm sorry to let you down. I'm really sorry to have to tell you this, but you're probably not going to get what you want.
I see.
Yeah.
So you might tell people if it's kind of bad news, if it's something they don't want to hear, or if they kind of think something is true and you're like, that's not true.
That's
like,
not it.
I can't wait for next Monday. We don't have to go to school. And you say, sorry to burst your bubble, but next Monday we do have school. It's the week after we don't have, oh no, the person will have their bubble burst. So sorry to give you this bad news, but they don't have that kind of tea that you really want, at least not at this store. And so Truman is a little disappointed and he says, man, and you have to say it like that, man. You don't say man, no, you say man because you're disappointed. It's just sort of like darn or shucks or gosh or gee or something like that. Something you say to express frustration or disappointment when you hear that bad news. Man, I wanted something kind of sweet and sour. So he's a little disappointed, but I'm sure if Truman looks at the rest of the options, the other things on the menu, he'll probably, hopefully, find something he wants to have. And we will find out what happens after we check in with Tina.
Hello, I'm Tina.Coco 和 Truman 正在用应用程式点饮料。Coco 对 Truman 说：“抱歉，得泼他冷水，店家没有柠檬爱玉了。” Truman 很懊恼，因为他想喝点酸酸甜甜的东西。我们来看看对话提到的文法。Burst one's bubble， 泼某人的冷水，让某人失落。字面的意思是戳破某人的泡泡。Burst 指的是破裂、爆裂，它的三态同形。那么 bubble 表示的就是气泡。比如说 Lydia burst Jack's bubble when she cancelled the trip. Lydia 取消旅行时，让 Jack 很失落。接着我们回到对话当中。
All right. Thank you so much, Tina. Now we are going to continue along with our dialogue to find out what Coco and Truman ultimately decide to order, right? So before we took our little break, Truman, or no, I think it was Coco, right? Was telling Truman, hey, sorry to burst your bubble, but they don't really have the drink that you want.
I think he wanted like IU jelly or something like that.
Jelly.
They don't have it.
They don't have it, unfortunately. But Coco says, so while you think of your second choice, I'll order my mango pomelo sago drink.
Mango pomelo sago drink.
Interesting.
It does sound
I don't know if
interesting.
I've ever heard of that one.
I've heard of mangoes and pomelos and
but,
sago, but as a drink, no. Yeah, I've never had that, but I would certainly be interested in trying something like that. Those are some definitely tasty flavors. They might be even better all together. Back to Truman, though, he's got this problem. Oh, what do I order? They don't have my favorite thing that I wanted. So what will I get? And he's been looking, he's been thinking, and he has come to a decision. He says, okay, I changed my mind. I've gone from wanting A, which I can have, to now wanting B. So what is B? What has he changed his mind to? He says, now I want, are you ready for this? Okay. Now I want a large brown sugar bubble milk tea with pudding and double bubbles. I will say that again. A large brown sugar bubble milk tea with pudding and double bubbles. Don't ask me to say it a third time.
Say, can you say that 3 times?
My brain will start to hurt. So that's his order. Okay, so large is the size. He wants brown sugar, which will maybe be like sugar, like powdered, or maybe like a sort of liquid sugar. He wants bubble milk tea, so he wants the boba or the bubbles. With pudding, they actually put like a pudding in there, and double bubbles. So I guess he wants 2 portions, 2 orders. Normally they put 1 scoop, so now he wants 2. There will be no tea in this cup. it will be all pudding and bubbles and maybe a few ice cubes, and that's it.
Yeah, this sounds like a very loaded, sugary, fun drink.
Kind of does, but that's, that's, as you says, that's kind of the fun of milk tea. You can turn it into a dessert that is really not much tea, but is a lot of good sweet stuff. And yes, if you really like something, you can have double of that thing. Getting double sugar is probably not so good for your teeth, but double ice might be okay on a hot day, or double bubbles if you really like those bubbles and you want extra, because double means times 2. All right, so if you order double something, you are ordering 2 times, you are ordering 100% more, or something like that. If I want 10 of these things and then I want double, I will get 20 of those things. You understand the math? It's times 2. Let's go over to Tina. It's only one Tina. We don't have double Tina.
Aww.
She might have a twin sister, but
maybe.
we don't have her here to teach us. So it's single Tina here to spend some time with us.
在 Truman 思考第二个选项的同时 ，Coco 点了他的杨枝甘露，而 Truman 在没有柠檬爱玉后也改变心意了，点了一杯大杯的黑糖珍珠奶茶，加布丁和双倍珍珠哦。我们来看看单字 double 形容词2倍的、双份的。Sam ordered a double cheese pizza.Sam 点了一份双倍起司披萨。文法的部分刚刚提到了 change one's mind， 某人改变心意。举例来说 ，At first, Ben said yes, but then he changed his mind. Ben 一开始答应了，但后来又改变心意。接着我们回到对话当中。
All right, so we've got the orders down. We think they're a little complicated, but of course they're using an app, so it's probably nice and simple. You just click a few buttons or hit a few boxes, and they should be getting what they want in just a few moments. We'll find out in part 2 of the dialogue, so don't go away.
Just thinking of that gives me a toothache. How much sugar and ice do you want?
I'd like regular sugar and regular ice, please.
Sure. Do you need a straw?
No, I have my own.
Okay, we are back, and Truman just came up with his order for milk tea. Just hearing about it made me think I should go brush my teeth or visit my dentist, because it does sound pretty sweet. He's having more of a dessert than a tea, really. He wanted to remember this, a large brown sugar bubble milk tea with pudding and double bubbles.
Wow.
That's what he wants. That's his order. So as we get back to it, what does his friend Coco think of Truman's order?
You know what? I think Coco agrees with you.
Okay.
Because she says, oh, just thinking of that gives me a toothache.
See?
Me too.
So much sugar.
That is so much sugar.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. And then she says, how much sugar and ice do you want? I mean, I guess that's a valid question, you know? I don't know if he really needs any sugar.
He's already got brown sugar in it.
Yeah, there's already brown sugar.
And I don't think you can fit ice.
Yeah.
Because of the pudding and the double bubbles and all the other stuff.
That's
but
a
yes,
lot.
This is a common thing they ask, right? For any order.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't really need the sugar, but if you're ordering a lemon tea or something like that, you might want some sugar. And of course, the ice is something you control. Some people don't like to have cold drinks, especially if maybe they have a toothache. Because actually having a cold drink when you have a toothache, ooh, that can really hurt.
Yeah, it's going to make it even worse. So if you have a toothache, it just means that your tooth really, really hurts.
Your tooth
right?
aches.
Your tooth aches. So the word ache just means to hurt. So if you have a toothache, your tooth hurts. Headache, your head hurts. Stomach ache, your stomach hurts, right? So toothache is just the feeling you have when your tooth hurts, basically. That can kind of sometimes be brought on by a lot of ice or a lot of sugar in drinks, like the one that Truman wants to order.
It's true. I was thinking icy milk tea can give you all of those things. Drink it too fast, you get a headache from that cold ice. Drink it with too much sugar, you might get a stomach ache. And if you have it all the time, eventually you'll get a toothache and you'll have to visit the dentist. Like Truman probably will next month. Anyways, back to our dialogue. Yes, we were also asking about sugar and ice. How much of those does he want in his tea? This is something, right, you can really set it yourself. You can have full ice, full sugar, 50%, 10%, 75%, you know, that kind of thing. So Truman says, I'd like regular sugar and regular ice, please. So regular just sort of means normal, the usual, what most people get or what you will get if you don't choose, okay? If you're like, I don't care, they'll probably just give you regular, all right? If you're getting a regular size drink, that would also probably be a way of saying a medium size drink. Not large, not small, just in the middle, regular, medium, normal, average, what is most common, what most people will get is kind of regular. We can use this in all sorts of ways. Hey, how was your day? It was a pretty regular day. I got up, had breakfast, went to school, came home, did my homework, watched some TV, went to bed. Just a normal, regular day. You know who's not regular?
Tina.
Tina, she's super special.
Yeah, extraordinary even.
Yes, so let's go over and spend some time with her.
听到 Truman 点的饮料后 ，Coco 说他光想就牙痛。接着问到甜度、冰块 ，Truman 想要全糖、正常冰。我们来看看单字 toothache 名词牙痛。Anna has a toothache, so she can't eat lunch. Anna 牙痛，所以她不能吃午餐。Regular 形容词平常的。Rose doesn't drink regular milk. Rose 不喝一般的牛奶。接着我们回到对话当中。
All right, so it sounds like, you know, Truman, he put in his order and it sounded like he wanted regular sugar and regular ice.
That's right.
So Coco says, okay, sure. Do you need a straw? Great question, right? Of course, I think typically I want to say probably 99% of people who are ordering bubble tea usually drink it with a straw.
True,
right?
true.
And a straw is just a paper or plastic tool that's used to help you drink a beverage. I believe usually at bubble tea shops, it's usually a plastic straw. But I think here in Taiwan, especially at certain restaurants and stuff, they're very environmentally friendly. So sometimes if you go out to eat, they'll give you a paper straw with your drink.
That's true. And of course, at bubble tea places, they also might have different size straws. If you get the ones with the bubbles in it, you get the bigger straw. That way the bubble can come up and pop into your mouth. It isn't that fun. But actually, this is a really good point. Truman, he answers the question, do you want a straw? By saying no. I have my own. Oh, good for you, Truman. He brings his own straw with him. Maybe he carries it around. Maybe he has one at home. These straws are things you can buy in supermarkets and other places. They come in a little box. It might be made of metal or glass or something like that. You can clean it. And of course, the point is you're not making pollution by having a paper straw and you're not leaving something to recycle or something that can go into the ocean like a plastic straw. We all remember the video of that poor turtle with the plastic straw in his nose and they pulled it out and it was very bloody and awful and a terrible thing. So, you know, if you want to be good to the environment and also have the convenience of always having a straw, be like Truman, have your own. That's a wonderful thing to do. Let's go over to Tina. She's a wonderful person who's here to tell us wonderful things. Isn't it wonderful?
Coco 问 Truman 需要吸管吗？Truman 说不用，他自己有。我们来看单字 straw 名词吸管。The drink comes with a straw. 这杯饮料附一根吸管。接着我们回到对话当中。
All right, so that was a great journey following Coco and Truman.
Yes.
Also very interesting to see how their tea orders differed.
Right.
You know, I think Coco was she's more like me, or more like us. She kind of kept it very simple, one specific thing. Truman, you know, had a lot of stuff going on, double bubbles and brown sugar and regular sugar and ice and all this stuff going on. But it was so fun to see what they ended up ordering.
It is interesting seeing what people order, how they like to sort of set it up or customize it or choose it and have it the way they really love. I'm going to probably stick with my grapefruit green tea, maybe your lemon green tea. Those sound great to me, but maybe the next time my wife says, hey, I'm going to get a tea, what do you want? I might throw Truman's order at my wife and see what she says.
Yeah.
She'll probably say, no, you can't have
Right.
that. That's crazy. But I'm going to try. So it's always interesting to try new things. And we're going to be trying something new tomorrow. Yes, another dialogue about bubble tea. Well, it's not that new, but at least it's new characters.
Yes,
so we hope to see you back here then. Until then, all the best. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Coco and Truman are ordering drinks through an app.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but there's no lemon IU jelly drink.
Man, I wanted something kind of sweet and sour.
While you think of your second choice, I'll order my mango, pomelo, sago drink.
Okay, I changed my mind. Now I want a large brown sugar bubble milk tea with pudding and double bubbles.
Just thinking of that gives me a toothache. How much sugar and ice do you want?
I'd like regular sugar and regular ice, please.
Sure. Do you need a straw?
No, I have my own.
我们来复习一下这一课的重点单字跟文法。单字的部分 ，double 形容词2倍的、双份的 ；toothache 名词牙痛 ；regular 形容词平常的 ；straw 名词吸管。接着我们来看文法的部分 ：burst one's bubble 泼某人冷水，让某人失落。Ed burst Meg's bubble when he told her she didn't get the job.Ed 告诉 Meg 他没有得到那份工作时，让他很失落。Change one's mind 某人改变心意。At first, Gail said she would go, but then she changed her mind. Gail 一开始说她会去，但她后来改变心意了。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，我们下一课再见，拜拜。
Welcome to Which One Fits, the game where we tackle confusing English words.
I can't wait for this round.
Today, we're going to sort out the difference between assume and presume.
But before we dive in, let's go over how the game works.
In Which One Fits, we'll read a sentence with a blank, and you have to choose between assume and presume.
So join us and challenge your English intuition.
All right, first up. I would blank he's already left since his car is gone. Which one fits?
I think that's presume.
Correct. Presume is used when you make a reasonable guess based on evidence. Next one. I blank you know how to operate the machine, so I didn't explain it. Which one fits?
It is assumed.
Yes, it is. Assume means you believe something is true without checking or proof.
Nice. I'm glad I got them right.
All right, time for a breakdown.
First, assume is a verb meaning to accept something as true without question or proof. For example, I just assumed it would rain and canceled the picnic.
It's more driven by intuition than evidence, so the level of certainty is relatively low.
Now, presume is also a verb, but it means to draw a logical conclusion based on clues or evidence. For example, I presume she's busy since she hasn't picked up any of my calls.
It's grounded in reasoning or available facts, so it comes across as more confident. A simple way to remember, assume means guessing freely, while presume means guessing with some logic.
Exactly. It's clear once you understand the difference.
And yes, you can use both in the same sentence. He presumes the guests aren't attending due to the lack of response, but still assumes there's a chance they simply forgot to reply.
So when you assume something with a solid basis, you're essentially presuming it.
Right. Now you'll never mix them up again.
Until next time, keep exploring.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.